What's up, guys? Welcome into Packers Total Access post-game show. My name is Clayton. You can check us out on packernet.com. Find me on Twitter at Packers_access. Joined alongside Jacob in Wisconsin, Tim in Green Bay. We got Emilio fresh cut. Emilio over there in Tennessee to talk about this Packers victory, 27-18. The Packers defeat the Cincinnati Bengals at Lambeau Field. I thought this was a fun game to watch. Let's just go around the horn here real quick, get everybody's take. In terms of how you thought the game went. Let's start with you, Emilio. We haven't talked to you yet today. What'd you think about the game? Did you get to watch it all? Did you have to bootleg?
No, I was doing stuff in between, right? But great game to watch. Matthew Golden, I was having a blast cheering for him, and dude was turning up. Defense was playing well. Yeah, the superstars are going to get theirs, but it's I thought it was a great game all around. A couple mistakes here and there, couple no holds, but we'll get there.
Yeah, I thought Zach Taylor made a great adjustment there in the second half, Tim. Just kind of taking what the Packers were giving them and then working the out routes. You could tell that the Packers were going, you're not beating us over the top. So if you're going to beat us, you're going to have to nickel and dime us to death. And they attempted to do that, and Jamar Chase got his. But what did you think about it, Tim?
Yeah, no, that's a great point because, that opening drive of the third quarter really ate up most of that quarter and kept our offense off the field. So I think they did make some adjustments. But overall, I'm happy. It's a dub, right? I don't care what the final score is. Pretty, ugly, beautiful, anything in between, we'll take the dub. That's what we needed coming out of the bye. Shout out Carrington Valentine hitting the gritty on Jamar Chase. That was always fun to see. Overall, and some pleasant surprises on that O-line. Big shout out to Jordan Morgan, had himself a ball game today. We saw improved play from Elton Jenkins. I thought Banks looked good as well. So good team win, and tip of the cap to Josh Jacobs on the ground today, putting in that work. Gotta love it.
Since you brung it up there, Tim, I'm going to start with that, and then we'll come back to Jacob, get his take. You mentioned Jordan Morgan. I don't know if you guys seen this or not. Now, listen, I can't play it. I can't play it on loop, okay? But I want you to watch. It's going to be a duo right run, and watch Jordan Morgan, how patient he stays on the double team and last-second releases. I'm telling you, he gets to the second level like that, blasts the linebacker out of the way. This is that touchdown run by Josh Jacobs. I'm going to play it one time through. You know what to look for here. I zoomed in, too. Look at that. Seal it. Get out there. Little shove. We're off to the races. One more time. Look. Seal. See right there? So you see him. He sealed it. Really, really patient. Waited the last second. Got a hand on 44. And that's what sprung Josh Jacobs. So you love to see that, Jacob. Obviously, Jordan Morgan having a little bit better day today than he has in the past. What was your take on the game, man?
Yeah, we did a lot of things really, really well, and some things that we need to clean up. I think, Love, for the most part, looked like he was kind of getting into his groove, and then we just had that one kind of boneheaded play where he should have just thrown that ball away, take the easy three, which at the time we didn't know would be an easy three, quote unquote, because we haven't seen Haversnacker or whatever his name is kick the field goal. But as the game progressed, I think that if we could obviously look back and have that kind of, crystal ball, we could say, oh, well, let's maybe try that. So I think that Golden comes out and shows again that he is the real deal, and we got to start getting him the ball a little bit more. I think the defense made a statement here and there, and then we just have to find a way to capitalize on certain situations, and we could be a dominant team. I think this is still a really good win, but there's definitely a way that we could have made this look a little more clean, easy, a little more swag, kind of like Emilio when he walks into the club. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Everybody stops and they look at him, and he's just,
I think you said it perfect, Jacob, because to me, this is the best case scenario. You didn't blow the team out, obviously, right? You had a good game. I thought everybody played pretty well. But you still got plenty of teaching tape, right? That the coaches can go in there and go, we need to get better at this, and that, right? So I think it's kind of a win-win in that regard. One more clip here. We'll be careful. We'll play it just a couple times. You mentioned Matthew Golden. He's just out there snatching ankles, boys. Look at this right here. Ready? Yoop. My goodness.
That dead leg was mean. That was really mean. Or DN too, right? 99. They dropped Trey Hendrickson a couple times, and then Trey gets hurt. Said, "All right, we'll drop 99."
I like how 99 just kind of stands up straight. Watch him. He goes, "Watch here, crap."
Yeah,
he's gone. Literally, it was not even a quarter of a second before this frame right here. He had him squared up, and he's already separated by 5 yards. So Matthew Golden, he's going to be a dog, man. Really, really excited about how he's coming along. Another thing on that deep pass where Jordan Love hit Matthew Golden in the first half. Here was
I remember that dime piece throw from Jay Money.
Oh man! So this is the next gen stats GPS tracking of it. Okay, so Matt LaFleur breaking out an empty chips dagger strike. Now, what do I mean by empty chips? Empty chips is when you go empty, but you put the tight end and the running back right on the edge of the line. So it's almost like the T is actually playing tight end as well, and the design is chip and release. So they just call it empty chips. Now, what's a dagger let's start with a strike concept. A strike concept's on one side of the formation, deep route. Other side, you bring a crosser or a dig across the formation. That's called strike. Dagger is when you've got on one side of the formation, the one runs a dig while the two stretches the defense vertically, which you'll see 83 Savion stretching the defense vertically, Malik Heath working underneath. And this is the throw to Matthew Golden as you'll see it unfold. And I mean, he puts it, that's good coverage. And Jordan puts it in the perfect spot. And Matthew Golden with the late hands, if you guys go back and watch the replay, if I show it, we'll definitely get dinged for it. But just thought that was really cool. We broke out an empty chips, strike, dagger strike, however you want to call it. Really, really nice play design there by Matt LaFleur, and perfectly thrown ball, like Tim said, to Matthew Golden. Did you see that throw, Emilio? I mean, it was on
dime. Yep. No, I was screaming. Absolutely. Matthew Golden was having his coming out party. I was happy for him, dude. And the late hands, like you said, just give him a shot. It was 3rd and 5 or something, and we'll take that. Absolutely.
The footwork on that play was incredible too by Golden. He basically kind of did a hop step, kind of a jump stop to get 2 in the ground when he had possession. So, him stepping to the sideline was irrelevant. It was just a great throw and great catch.
It was literally right in front of Matt LaFleur too, Tim, right? Like Matt was just standing there like, yep, check, put that one on the board. All right, double circle that one. Get the next play call in. Let's go.
Love it.
And by the way, boys, we got our next Romeo Dobbs gift. He's giving us gifts every single week. The Packers just tweeted this one out.
Oh, there we go.
Is that not great, boys? Look at
I'd already sent that to you guys like an hour ago. Come on now. They're trying to steal.
So the Packers stole it from Emilio. They hacked
right.
our personal tag line.
Yeah, that's a bad idea, actually.
Love it. So let's go to the chat. Those chats you got marked there. Let's hit those real quick, Jacob, if you don't care, man. Let's start with that initial PFF grades that you got marked there, man.
Sure. We got Elder Grim coming in saying 2 top 5 initial grades for PFF. Golden at a 90.9. Jacobs at an 82.3. Our guy, Mr. Jordan Throws Dimes Love, 74.6. Mr. Micah, I'm going to scare everybody in your mama, 76.1. And Jordan Morgan at 73. The bust, do I dare say, at 73.1.
Love it. What do y'all think about that? Do you feel like that's Tim, do you feel like that's pretty accurate to what you've seen today? Do you feel like Golden deserves to be graded elite, man? How cool is that, dude?
I think it's awesome. I mean, you talk about a few really elite plays that he made today. And I think it's fair. We got to get him that tutter, though. Got to get him in the end zone at some point. But I think a 90s might be a little generous, but I'll take it, man. The Golden Child is the real deal. I think the grades across the board look good. Surprised Jordan was graded as low as he was, honestly, but probably the boneheaded pick didn't help his grading there. But good to see Josh Jacobs grading in the 80s. This is what we were talking about. And then again, the surprise of the day, Jordan Morgan on the right side of the line just finally put it together and was an absolute stud out there today for us.
Yeah. If you guys would hit that like button for us, hit subscribe, click that bell icon so you're notified when we go live here in the future. Let us know in the comments. Do you agree with those PFF marks? All right, let's talk a little Tucker Craft for a minute, boys. I put this little shindig together here. First of all, Tim, we now have this in the storage, sir. Anytime you want to go to that one, look at this poor cat. That's not, you talk about silly body. Like, you're not supposed to look like that on the ground. Literally, for everybody on the podcast.
Popped when Tucker crossed the goal line. Folded him.
This guy looks like he's doing yoga, man. He went around his elbow to touch his ass. This is unbelievable right here. So, and then I put together a video. We got to be quick with it. You know the drill here, right? Check this one out. Look at him just riding along. Watch this guy spin. Look at the turnstile.
Oh, wow.
See the shot he put on 29 there, too?
Unbelievable, Tim.
29 trying to come over and do something, and Tucker just flicks him off like a booger,
And he just like left his feet too. You know what I mean? He didn't even. He wasn't like trying to run through the dude. He left his feet, just hit X, and was like, "I'm getting to the end zone, man. I'm diving for that thing."
J. Cole hit the nail on the head. See, look like he was break dancing, right?
Yeah.
Look at my man, right? Unbelievable, dude. Unbelievable. So, what y'all think of Tucker Kraft, man? Obviously, they didn't get him as involved as you would have wanted them to, but at the same time, man, when his numbers called, he was targeted twice. Both of them he caught 43 yards and a touchdown, man. Tucker Kraft. He's just there when you need him. He's there when you need him.
Absolutely. He was a dog. He really was.
I mean, we talked about how he can kind of make like acrobatic plays or whatever, and that's another example where they just kind of, I don't want to say it was like a dump off or nothing like that, but he took the ball and I was like, there's no way he's going to score. And then all of a sudden he makes a couple of quick moves and he's so much faster and accelerates a lot quicker than I think I hate comparing him to like Gronk or anybody because like it's a hard comparison to make to modern day tight ends because he's really bulky, but he's very, very agile. And all of a sudden he just makes 2 or 3 moves and you're like, oh, I almost swore. You're like, oh, darn, he's going to score,
Right.
And he just all of a sudden it seems like he knows if it's within 5 yards, he has no problem just turning his body into a human meat missile. And the only way where he lands is in that goal line, man. It's crazy. I love it.
And Jacob Tucker.
Well, that's all you need. Sometimes that's all you need, guys.
Tucker was 10th on the list with 57 out of the 61 snaps, 62.9, 59 pass, a 37 pass blocking, but he had a 66 run blocking. So I think it was that one where Love got sacked or whatever. They probably got him on that one, but not bad.
Goose in the chat says Jordan is amazing. Go Pack Go. Golden breakout game. Good to see you in there, Goose. Hopefully you're doing well, buddy. Let's go to QB1. And Tim, if you'll give me some kind of screen grab here, let's see what Jordan Love has to say. He's at the podium. Again, guys, I've got the volume all the way up. You may have to crank your TVs up. I'll try to fix it on the podcast. But here's QB1 at the podium.
The explosive plays, with the go ball down the sideline and then that, last play there to him. But, I think he's a guy that we're going to keep trying to, get going and keep finding ways to get him the ball. Because he's done some really good things, and it's always about just trying to spread it around. But he's definitely a very explosive playmaker, and just got to keep finding ways to get to him.
So it's a through 5 game. Do you feel like you guys have been explosive enough, or you think you need to get Watson into this mix over the next couple months to be as explosive as you need to be?
Oh man, I think there's definitely still room to make even more bigger plays. I think we've done a good job of hitting some of them. But I think, like you said, you had Christian Watson back to the mix, and I think we can do some real damage. So we're always trying to find ways to create those explosive plays and push the ball down the field and just put that pressure on the defense. But you add another speed guy like Christian, we're going to open this thing up. But I still think there's just more plays we can hit on.
Jordan, adding to that, you guys are average today 7 yards a play, and I'm using the term only loosely, but only 27 points. Are those big plays what's missing from piling up, 34, 40, those bigger numbers?
Yeah, I think that, and I think just finding ways to score. I think we did a great job of moving the ball, the whole game, and I think we just got to keep finding ways to score when we cross, the 40, 30-yard line. So I think we'll look at it and find out what's missing there. But I think, continue to hit more explosive plays, we'll do that. But I think just, if we're going to keep moving the ball the way we're doing and putting these long drives together, we just got to find ways to come up with touchdowns instead of field goals or, having the interception early in the game. But just got to find ways to score touchdowns.
This is the first game you guys are starting 5 offensive lines start and finish the game all year. Is that something you felt more comfortable with, and can that help you guys get more explosive on offense too?
Definitely. I think that's the name of the game is trying to stay healthy and get your best players out there. So, having those guys out there, I felt very comfortable. I felt good with whoever we had in there, but, having those guys, you can feel the difference. So, that's going to be a big key is going forward is trying to find ways to stay healthy and, get our body back throughout the week because, bye week's gone. So, we're in it for the long haul now. So just got to keep finding ways to do that.
All right, there's QB1. We'll go ahead and get out of that. Obviously, it's kind of hard to hear there. I wish they would fix that. But I was listening to college football press conferences after the games yesterday was an awesome day of college football. It just pisses me off how you can hear everybody just fine. Everything's good. Get to the Packers, and it's like, yeah. Anyway, what'd y'all think about what he had to say there? Somebody in the chat was talking about the moves he was making. Jacob J. Cole here says Love was out there breaking ankles too, man. Is that not true? Like that dude, especially on that 1 3rd and short play where he scrambled around the backfield, just made something happen and ended up picking up the first down. Now, I wish he would have lowered his head. The one time I would want him to lower his head, pick up that 3rd down or that first down on 3rd down there toward the end of the game. But at the same time, as I said it out loud, I also thought, how many times have we seen him lower his head and everybody crucifies him for it? You know what I mean? So,
yeah. I mean, we talked about it before the game started that he had the over-under of, I believe it was 8 yards rushing, and he crushed that within the first about 2 minutes in the game. Emilio sent it in the group chat, and I think so did Clayton, followed up, and I tallied it up. He had 3 rushes for 14 yards at least in the first drive alone, and then he ended up using his legs throughout the first half and into the second half as well. And honestly, when he starts doing that, he's really dangerous, guys. Like he's not just I think that's a lot of people tried to say it was an excuse last year what he played when they said they couldn't move around, he couldn't be mobile. You see the difference is pretty stark because he can actually slide up in the pocket even when things are breaking down. It makes the offensive line look a lot better when he can just kind of slip through and just, even if it's for a gain of 4, 5, 6 yards. I agree, Clayton. If he would have maybe just decided it was a heads up plan, the fact that he wanted the clock to run out, but at the same time, if he just would have probably lunged forward, I think he easily gets that first down, and then we have a whole different circumstance there. But all in all, obviously minus the interception, I think that he played pretty darn good.
Yeah, he finished the game with 7 carries for 26 yards, Tim. Love is completely healthy this year, man. You're seeing it every single week, come scrambling with the football, man.
Yeah, absolutely. And, we know he's a pocket passer, but we also know he has mobility, So it's cool to see it on display, especially at the right time. A lot of times we saw him take that hitch or step up in the pocket, and then he was running too soon. This time we see him starting to extend plays. He's still looking downfield. See a few pump fakes, freeze those safeties, those linebackers, and then, get it with your feet. And, he actually broke the golden rule on that last one when he basically stopped in the backfield. Normally you're dead meat anytime you do that. And he was able to wiggle out and extend the play and pick up more yards. So shout out to everyone who smashed the over on that one for sure. And then I believe Josh Jacobs hit his over as well on the rushing yards. So good day on the ground when we needed it to be. It looked a little shaky there early, but I think that Jordan and the boys they found rhythm at times. You could see this offense looked well within rhythm. You saw Matt changing up some of the calls, getting the ball out quick. We saw a lot of curl flat routes, kind of things like that. And, it looked good for the offense. And I just really want to give credit to Jordan, man, because, everyone's going to remember the errant throw for the pick there. But that should not define this game at all. We saw a couple of good checks and cams at the line today, too, that was able to extend drives and manufacture yards for us. And I thought he played pretty well.
Yeah. Exactly, Tim. His awareness and his timer in his head were, on point today. I think his timer was great for deciding to run, deciding when to, still try to force it. A couple of those were close, right? That one to Golden where he kind of broke off the route at the very end. It looked like he was going to climb it a little bit more. Saw Jordan was in trouble and just flattened that thing out. Came back to it in that one on Rome where he ran kind of that out route and got underneath the dude before he got blown up. Some good timing, good balls, but I think Love was really cooking today.
Yeah, I thought he played great. And, you see that 74 and you think, okay, is it too generous? Is it not enough? If you consistently grade out the 70s, you're going to end up with an elite grade is what's going to end up happening. You're going to end up being in the mid to upper 80s by the end of the season. It just seems like every single week Jordan Love is grading out in the 70s on PFF, right? And then, of course, you don't just take that as gospel. Cross-check it with other statistics. EPA, he was leading the league in EPA per dropback. He was he was top 5 in passer rating, right? He was top 10 in completion percent. What else is there, right?
Yeah, even the announcers were saying that, Clay, right?
Yeah. I remember, here, I think it was Trent Green said, he's pretty much top 10 in every statistical category, right?
Absolutely.
Now, the interception was tough, right? In that situation, throw that ball away, right? Get rid of it. But then again, when he makes those plays, we're excited about him, right? Mm-hmm. So it was just tough that it got tipped and conveniently fell in their hands because I would love to have seen him gone another day without an interception. But that's all about stats more than it is did it truly affect the game that much. And I don't know, did they get points off that pick?
No, they did not. We 3-and-outed them on the next one. Great response from the defense, picking up their offense there after a little mistake.
Yeah. In the middle 8, the Packers won the middle 8 7-0. We lost the turnover differential 1-0, and obviously end up winning the game 27-18. So you split in those crucial categories. And the big thing that stood out to me was converting on third down early, especially on that first drive. It was just Romeo Dobbs. Every time you need to play, go to Romeo, right? Now you're seeing Matthew Golden getting involved in that. But that play to Matthew Golden on the climb route or the crosser, the fact that Jordan hit him about 6 seconds into that play is exciting to me. You know, the fact that he had enough time to roll left, get over there, and make the play. So, Clint, the armchair quarterback with the super chat. Appreciate you, buddy. He says, one word, win. Amen to that, brother. Amen to that.
Put that dub up, baby. Let's go.
Win is a win is a win. You got anything else there, Jacob, or no?
No, I just to your point, when we had that unfortunate start, I believe the defense came back, and correct me if I'm wrong, but did you guys see Bullard flash a few times, just making a tackle for a loss, like coming up and putting his nose in there? Like I feel like we did a pretty decent job today, kind of peppering in the defensive players where it best suits them. Like I saw Cooper make a bunch of plays. I want to say, Cooper had 11 tackles, Quay had 8. Like it seemed like that we were a swarming defense again, and it felt like that the guys were kind of communicating better. And I don't know what it is, if it's just the fact that we played better at home, that would make, pretty logical sense and all that. But it to me just was nice to see the guys kind of communicating. I'm sure you'll see a lot of pressures too from Gary and Parsons, but a lot of people in the chat I can see are upset that we didn't get home more than I think it was once with the sack column. But you know what? I mean, I felt like that we honestly controlled this game for the most part, minus a couple drives here and there, and the fact that we didn't capitalize when we should have.
Yeah, and you guys mentioned Bullard. Bullard looks great on short passing, tackling, like you said, helping with the run fit, all that stuff. And again, Clint, thank you for that super chat, man. He does a great job in that regard. But also, you've seen a play where he got a negative mark on my notes here, where it was he was on the slant and it converted on the first down, right? It's just like if he could just put the coverage aspect of his game together, you would see a player that's going to be not above average, but I think a good to very good player. It's just the coverage is so bad. Am I being too critical there, you think?
I know exactly the play. I wasn't terribly mad at that just because it was T. Higgins. He's got strong hands. I mean, Flacco put it on a dart. Same thing happened to Keyshawn on the other side when you threw it to, I think it was Chase, when he came across on the slant, even with hands to the face and all that. I think Bullard played great. The PFF grade had him top 3. He's actually 71-8, 81 run defense, 83 tackling, 51 pass rush, and a 68 coverage. So not terrible, but I texted, that was the first thing I texted you guys, was like, dude, I love Bull by the line. Anything 5 yards and in, he is a dog. And you got beat on a quick slant. That sucks, but you're going to get those. I think he just needs to keep balling. He played 40 snaps for us out of 65.
Godsmack AR69 with the super chat. Thank you, buddy. He says, love seeing our bruisers, Josh Jacobs, Tucker Craft get in the end zone. Also, no major unspecial teams poo-poos. All right. In fact, the backup kicker is my MVP for the day. Congrats to that dude. Here's a guy. Now,
here's a guy.
love the energy, Godsmack. But I put in the in-game chat over on this particular stream, this specific stream here, and I was like, guys, how come we don't give Bisaccia credit when stuff like this happens? You've got a kicker you signed off the street, Tim, right?
Yep.
And it's, kicker, they can't. No, it's all about the process. It's all about the, getting on the same page with the holder, the snap, everybody working as a unit, right? On a short week, essentially, what did Bisaccia do? Put it right together, and the kicker was perfect, right? Yeah. So are we allowed to give him credit for that, or are we just, no, we can't do that? You know what I'm saying?
You're an amazing person. You know that, don't you?
And again, do I think there's a better coach out there than Bisaccia? There probably is. We'd have to comb through, everybody who's in the unemployment line right now to find them, right? Yeah. However, all I'm saying is when something positive happens, can we not give him credit? Why does it always got to be when something positive happens on special teams, everybody goes quiet, and then the second something bad happens, fire Bisaccia's ass, I don't know. It reminded me, it gave me PTSD from Jordan Love's first year as a starter, where he would play great and just be phenomenal. And not everybody, those haters would be quiet. And then all of a sudden, when he had a bad game, you guys remember when they were calling for Sean Clifford?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I told him to bring the big red dog out for a second, let him go to the bathroom, and then bring him right back inside because it's just not happening.
Get back in, right?
It's not happening.
Yep.
H.E. Soder with the super chat. Thank you, buddy. Says consistently hitting 27 with no points off turnovers is an indication of how efficient the offense has been outside of Cleveland. That's a great point, Soder. Those are the hidden numbers that we talk about. You know,
Yep.
Tim, these are the things that don't really stick out when you look at the box score, when you look at all the stat columns. However, when you look at EPA per dropback, EPA per pass, things like that, yards per passing attempt is one of the reasons I love that metric. It shows you truly how efficient the offense is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, especially when, you know, coach is in his bag with the play calls. You know, we saw a little bit of that little razzle dazzle, little jet sweep action, but it was creative and it was successful. We saw a lot of play action, hit the check down right away and create yards after the catch out of the backfield when the run game kind of stalled a little bit at times early on. And then we also saw the absolute response that we were looking for when your defense, you know, basically forces a 4th and goal after getting sustaining a long drive down the field, and you go right back out there, march down the field, and get that tutter back. That was absolutely huge. I think the offense is efficient and a well-oiled machine. We just want to see it on a more consistent basis, I think, as a fan base, really.
Yeah, I agree. Jacob, you anything to add to that, man?
No, not really. I mean, I think that Tim has been one of the most outspoken people, just being in Jordan Love's corner and thinking about just the way he's progressed. And for whatever reason, you know, even though he made, if you want to call it a boneheaded interception or whatever, I know what he was trying to do. He just was caught up in the moment. If he lets that thing just, you know, if he has another second chance at it, I know he'll probably just throw that thing out of bounds. And we're sitting here talking about how he's probably in the hunt for the MVP still. So just think about little things, little subtleties. I know a lot of people are upset about certain little things that wish we could win by more or whatever. Like Clayton always talks about, the NFL every single week, it's a whole different ball game. And the fact that Flacco came in there and he optimized that offense, I'd argue, way better than Browning could have, just because he can make all the throws. He's a seasoned vet, like 18 years or whatever. Oh, and then one other really cool stat is that I believe now we have Jacobs has had 23 touchdowns and played 23 games for Green Bay, if my calculations are correct.
Yeah.
Which is pretty cool.
That's awesome.
Love the hidden stats like that. Zach Cruz put a tweet out, said Josh Jacobs had 150 total yards. Jordan Love averaged 10 yards per attempt. The Packers probably should have scored at least 30-plus points, and the Bengals only averaged, listen to this stat, 4.3 yards per play and needed 2 fourth-down conversions to score 18 points. Led 10-0, 24-10, ended up winning by 9. So, again, this is one of those games you look at the score and go, man, how did they keep the Bengals in that game? It wasn't as close as the score would lead you to believe. We got Matt at the podium, but every time I go to the live press conference, nobody can hear it, and the viewers just sink out of sight. So I'm just going to stay away from it if that's all right with you guys. I love hearing from the coach, but, man, the audio is so bad. It's just – it ain't worth it. So, all right. Anything else you guys want to hit on before we go to the box score and start combing through the stats like a bunch of casuals in here?
Can
just
I
oh, go ahead, Jacob.
Yeah, sorry. A lot of people in the chat are saying, like, what Dr. Gonzo 711 says, there's again a lot of uncalled holds and face masks on Parsons. He was outright tackled on one play late in the fourth. The Packers, I believe, I think this is by far their lowest amount of penalties in a game. Elder Grimm says that only 5 penalties. Ronnie T was definitely not in the stadium, LOL.
Yeah.
That to me is a win there. But the fact that the penalties occurred when they did were still, influential. But did you see the lack of penalties? I would argue, because there's, again, certain times where I'd look down and see Parsons literally with, like, it looked like sumo wrestling, like armbar, like whatever, jujitsu over this guy. And
this is new to us, though, as Packer fans. This has been happening to Micah his entire career. I'm sure there are Cowboy fans that can attest to that we're new to this. But it's obvious, and it's terrible when you see that happen, and you're not going to get them all, right? Can you get at least one or a couple?
Right.
Would be nice. But all in all, I hate to say it, because I won't defend these dirtbag refs very often, but I thought Mr. Allen's crew stayed the hell out of this game for the most part and let the players on the field decide the game. There was a couple of questionable flags. We also saw him pick up a flag, which was shocked the hell out of me that actually happened, and that went our way. So I think the refs didn't really influence the outcome of this one as much as we may have seen in previous games.
because they could have called a hold there early on Trey Hendrickson, and the announcers were very vocal about it, right?
Right.
It just bothers me, but it just feels like the announcers are never vocal when the Packers are being held. It just seems like
Right.
it's every week. And I know I'm a homer. I get it, but I don't know.
But
That stuff
to be
just kinda-
fair, we've really never been a podcast that was like the refs. If anything, like we'll highlight maybe what the crew would be, and then afterwards we kind of just say, it is what it is. Like we really try not to just say, oh, the refs cost us this game.
Right.
To our credit,
Right.
I will say that.
We'll mention it, but we'll also, right, Emilio, will always point out, but we lost the game because of this too.
Oh yeah, no, you can beat yourself the whole. I mean, the fact that we had double-digit penalties, the first 3 games or whatever, that's a problem. So I'm happy that it was cleaner, but we didn't get calls on both sides. Yeah, I definitely saw some holds on defense, but maybe a couple we got away with on offense there too. So I'm glad it wasn't a flag, flag happy game, because that's even worse, man. I'd much rather, like Jacob saying, just let him play. I mean, Key was handy. That dude got one handy on Romeo there when he was tugging on the jersey. So you'll have those, but I think it was a good game.
Just let them play through it on both sides, right?
Right, exactly.
Yeah,
you gotta call it fair that way.
Right. I can deal with that. I just can't deal with it when it feels like, damn, they're calling everything on us, but they're letting everything else go. And I'm sure other fan bases feel the same way too. And I will say this, that last comment we had, every Cowboy fan I know, I was prepared for this with Parsons, because they talked about it, like you said, Jacob, constantly, that they're not going to call holding for him, dude. He gets held every play, and they will not call it. And, yeah, IROC makes a great point here. He says Zach Tom looked great. Seems healthy, right? Did you guys see one play where you were like, oh, Tom got beat there? He looks like he's a little banged up. Did you see any?
Early. That was early, first quarter, I think.
Yeah, when they rushed 3 and it was Morgan or Ryan's helped him for a second and got off, and then Tom either lost his footing or something, and they rushed 3, and that's when Jordan dumped it, I think, to Emmanuel, and we lost 4.
Yeah, he looked like a guy who hasn't played football in 3 weeks.
Yeah, right. I mean, that's one play. The rest of it, I think he had a great game
for sure.
Going to get better as the season goes on.
They had him at a 75 pass blocking on 35 snaps, so.
Yeah, he settled in, finished that game.
2 hurries. Yeah, 2 hurries is what they had him on.
Michael in the chat says, some people will complain, but I'm happy with the win. Of course, they have plenty of room to improve, but it was good to see Jacobs have a big day. And we were kind of talking about that leading up to the game, right? Is Jordan going to have a big game? Is it going to be Jacobs? And I talked about in the pregame, I would kind of rather it be Josh Jacobs to get that running game going. And essentially what this does, Tim, Emilio, it gives you a notch on your belt, right? The offensive line is going to come out of this game going, all right, boys, we ran the ball. We can run the ball. We can run the ball. And I know I mentioned in our chat, I want to see more true flow. I want to see more true wide zone runs, and they're just not going to it. So Matt's going, listen, boys, you're going to figure this out. We're running a rock between the tackles.
And it looked pretty good. We saw Jordan Morgan and Elton Jenkins just create a hole you could drive a truck through for a 14-yard Josh Jacobs touchdown. And that's exactly what we want to see, right? And I think you're right, Clayton. It might just be a point of emphasis that Matt has a plan of what they want to do running the football. And, we didn't really see – did you see any duo today? I saw a little bit of duo, but I didn't – you're right. Nothing really off the tackle or outside zone or anything. Yeah.
Yeah, so to me, like the play that I highlighted with Jordan Morgan, that looked like, according to Tom Brady, that would be duo. I need to go back and watch the tape, the end zone cam. Duo is supposed to be 2 double teams and then vertical displacement to the backers, right? Yep. Tom Brady refers to 1 double team where they get to the next level. So that's like 90% of inside zone runs. Right. So I'm not going to sit here and go, Tom Brady doesn't know what duo. Are you kidding me? Like the greatest quarterback in the history of the game. But so maybe it is just common knowledge that duo is one. If you get 1 double team block, getting to the next level, it's essentially zone. But it's supposed to be double vertical power is what it's supposed to be. So, but nonetheless, that one play, Tim, was the one that I noticed. I don't know how much duo we ran. We'll find out when we get into chalk talk later in the week.
Do you want to know who was the best graded run blocking so far for PFF?
No, I do, Emilio.
Can you get a guess? I'm going to get one person from each of you real quick.
The number 1 run blocking offensive line.
No, I was going to just
overall player.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. Number 1 overall blocker. I'm going to say
Malik Heath.
That's what I was going to say, Malik Heath.
Mr. What?
I'm gonna go with Elton Jenkins.
Oh, I love it, Tim. Close, Mr. Mr. Malik Heath, Mr. Water Cooler himself with a
Of course.
75, followed up closely by Matthew Golden with a 74-1. Okay. And then Rasheed Walker with a 72-2.
Wow.
Did
Good
you
for
just
speed.
did you just say Matthew Golden?
74. He can block. Matthew Golden, he can block.
I believe it.
He can block. Telling you, he must have been talking to Christian before the
You
game.
heard it from a fan right here.
The Armchair Quarterback gifting 10 Packer Fan Total Access memberships. That's 10 lucky viewers that just randomly got picked, and you will be entered into the giveaway next week. We're going to be giving away an autographed Marshawn Lloyd rookie card here in just a second. So when we get ready to wrap the show up, not just a second. But, yeah, appreciate that, Clint. You're the man, buddy. You're always too generous to us. And just know, guys, when you guys do those donos where it's whether it's a normal dono or whether it's joining the Patreon community, you're doing a super chat, you're gifting memberships, that's what keeps this thing rolling, man. That's what pays for the equipment. That's what pays to keep this thing on track. Keeps the lights on around here. That's where I'm from. Coal keeps the lights on. But out here, man, you know how it is. It's the super chats and everything, and the gifted memberships keep it on here with the Patreon group. So, Jacob, anything else you want to hit on before we get in the box score? We can keep on chatting like this. I'm enjoying it, man.
I just was going to ask, and I'm putting you guys on the spot right now, so I'm sorry about this. But as I'm watching this game, as I'm going into halftime, I just realized that, like, oh, man, halftime, I don't really watch the halftime show anymore. I used to love watching the halftime analysis. Would the chat and would you guys ever want to be into just having, like, us do a quick, like, literal 5 to 6, 7 minute, like, halftime breakdown of a Packer game? And would that be beneficial? Would anybody like that? I don't know. That's what I'm.
Dude, I love the idea of it, but my halftime show, you know what my halftime show was tonight?
Taking the dogs outside?
Run to the bathroom and pee.
Andy was still in Florida, so I had to run downstairs and feed the dogs. So I had to feed 4 dogs, get all their food situated, separate them, make sure they weren't killing each other, run over, use the restroom real quick, grab a drink, come back. So it would be hard for me, Jacob, but part of me wants to, I've said this before, part of me wants to do a live stream during the game and just have it up on the screen. And if we want to pop in at any moment and chat, and the chat's running constantly, but we're not on the screen the entire time, I think that would be a cool thing to do. The problem is I read the chat during the game, and I want to physically harm people. And if I am live on the air, it's probably not going to be good, man. Again, and I'm not saying I'm right in my stance and disagreeing with other people's live chatting and comments on the game. I just know how my temper is, and that's why I don't like to do that stuff somewhat live. A halftime show sounds – if we're winning, Jacob, sounds great. If we're losing, I don't know, man. Might be worth it just to stay away. King Tron with the super chat. Did LVN get carted off the field tonight? Did he?
I did not see that.
I saw that somebody said he apparently had a foot injury, is what Holmes is saying.
Damn, that sucks. Let me see if I can comb through. You guys talk amongst yourselves.
That's
Well, I was actually going to bring up his sack. Do you see how he was shot out of a cannon?
Oh, yeah.
I believe he was in that 3-point stance, just absolutely. At first, I thought, oh, he's offsides, and then they did the replay, and I'm like, no, he timed that absolutely perfectly, and that was the only time that I saw, a clear-cut case where Flacco had nowhere to go, couldn't even release the ball as quickly as he wanted. What did you think about that, fellas?
That was amazing because he basically just beat the left tackle like a drum with speed, and then basically undercut the arm. So it's like,
was that Orlando Bloom, or whatever his name was?
Brown.
Brown.
Yeah. I mean, he couldn't even get a hand on LVN. He just kind of ducked under that left arm and was already on Joe Flacco. I mean, that was sheer force. Yeah. Shot out of a cannon is exactly what that was. Great rep for LVN. You love to see it finally, right?
Got that information. Lucas Van Ness was carted off to the locker room. He had his right shoe off, and then Zach Cruz came in 28 seconds ago. MRI tomorrow for LVN. Has a sore foot. Matt LaFleur doesn't think he has a fracture. Again, he does not think he has a fracture, so maybe we dodged a bullet there. Carry on.
LVN.
When did that happen?
What is this? Is this right, too? Ed Madden saying LVN foot, Wick's ankle, and bold concussion.
That would be brutal. Don't love to hear that.
Go ahead, Emilio. Give us something positive.
I was going to say LVN graded out as the second highest pass rush behind Micah Parsons. Micah at a 69.8, LVN 67.5. But what reminded me of that was Micah's interview during the week saying, hey, it's all about the hunt. It's about the chase. And LVN getting a little bit of that drive you're not going to get there every time, 15 pass rushes, but you got that one. And I'm happy for him. But just for Micah's sake, 58 snaps out of a total 65 for the defense, 58 snaps from an edge rusher that we did pay a lot of money to. I'm super happy that it's week 6 and dude's already out there. You're basically out snapping at everyone there. Rashawn at 40 snaps.
Did we get a snap count on Brinson?
Warren Brinson, our boy, was at 21 snaps.
All right.
Okay.
Again, it's good.
Sorrell out there a little bit too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Aaron Sorrell came untouched and nailed Joey Flacco on that one play, man. I was hoping he'd hit home. And now listen, he didn't do anything special on that play. Let's don't kid ourselves. But I'm the biggest Aaron Sorrell fan on the face of the earth, man. I want him to succeed so bad. But he just came untouched, and Flacco seen his life flash before his eyes on that play for sure, man. All right, let's go to the box score, gents. Let's hit it here. So let's start with Jordan Love. 19 of 26, 259 yards passing, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. He was sacked once for a 3-yard loss. Joe Flacco was 29 of 45, 219 yards passing, 2 touchdowns, no picks. He was sacked once for a loss of 6 yards. So, again, Flacco didn't destroy you, but he protected the football and kept his team in it, although the Packers did get the 27-18 victory there. I hate that interception for Jordan Love, man. If it hadn't been for that, you're looking at that stat line going pretty darn good. But they did push the ball down the field when they needed to. It was less of a dink and dunk game for sure. Get your all's take on Jordan Love's performance and the stats there, and then we'll move on to the running game.
Jacob, you can confirm that. So Jordan hit the over on yards, right? Passing yards.
I was going to say he hit the over on passing yards. He hit the over on the rushing yards. Like Clayton said, if he just pulls up and throws that ball out of bounds, then everybody's talking about this as being an absolutely smart type of game. He's going to make a few mistakes here and there. That's only the second interception he's thrown thus far in the season. That's still pretty darn good. 259, 1 touchdown, only took 1 sack, which again was kind of frustrating, but the way that he moved through the pocket, the way that he used his legs, the way that he didn't panic in certain situations. I don't know if you guys remember that dump off that he did when he scrambled, looked like he was going to go past the line of scrimmage, decided to kind of like backstep and then find Josh Jacobs, who then turned it up the field for like a 21-yard run. Mm-hmm. And it was just a thing of beauty, man. And it was him just understanding like, nope, not the time to run. We can give this off to Jacobs, who I believe maybe gets the MVP game ball of this game.
Yeah, Nick McSwain points out here, too, 73% completion percentage for Love, by the way. So, Tim, he improves from 69% to, I imagine he's in the 70% mark now.
That's where you want to be. Yeah, we're all dwelling on the pick, but, hey, they happen. You're going to have a handful of them in a season. Doesn't mean you're not playing really good football, And to Jacob's point, too, it's cool to see Jordan not hesitate to be creative, right? Even in a scramble move, you're extending the play. You can beat him with your feet, but you've got Josh Jacobs open in the flat, man. It's hard not to want to get your playmakers the ball, and it's just cool to see Jordan really playing well-rounded. I think as a quarterback would be the best way to describe it.
Absolutely, I'm super happy with J Love, man. 250 yards, we'll take that. He was super accurate. You had one tip and then, a couple smart throwaways, use your legs. You really can't be mad at that. Again, it's crazy though, how we don't even, we're not even pushing it over 30 passes a game. Really, he's not having to just throw us to win a game. So we need him to be a win because quarterback. Right. So I think he's heading there in, every step.
Coach Lynn says Love was solid. Other than that pick, he bounced back the rest of the game. And that throw where he sat in the pocket, rolled left, and he hit Matthew Golden with pressure in his face on that perfect throw on the sideline. Yeah. Love it. So Josh Jacobs, 18 carries for 93 yards and 2 touchdowns running on the ground there. Had a long of 16. Jordan Love had 7 carries for 26 yards. Matthew Golden, 2 carries for 16 yards. I think one of them was that swing pass on the orbit motion. So it's technically a run, although it was a pass, if that makes sense. Emmanuel Wilson only 3 for 11, but Josh Jacobs, man, showed up big time. This is the game you needed to get Jacobs back on track. 18 carries, 93 yards. What y'all think of the running game? We'll start with you this time, Tim.
How about get busy Bo Melton getting the snap on offense?
Yeah.
Hey. Travis Hunter's not the only guy playing both sides of the ball, baby.
Travis Hunter who?
Yeah, let's go, Bo.
I seen his soul leave his body when he got hit on the sideline. I was so worried. Hey, but kudos to him getting right back up.
Yeah, he
right?
popped right back up. Bo's
Yeah,
a tough one for sure.
Just could make his stomach hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But not to overshadow the performance from Josh Jacobs. Really thought he was going to crack that century mark, that 100-yard mark today. Came a little close. That's cool, though. 2 tutters. We love it. And it's no coincidence that, when Josh has good games, this team plays well, right? So I'm all for it.
Yeah, super happy that we were over 150 in rushing. I think that's a great step for the O-line. I think that'll help them a lot.
Yeah, Godsmack with the super chat. Thank you, buddy. Appreciate it. He says, yeah, I agree. I've had my problems with Bisaccia over the years with all the special teams mishaps, plus sticking with the Amari Rodgers disaster. Credit where it's due. He coached a hell of a game today with the new kickers. So, guys.
How about that? Well, I'll be.
Keeping it real. Keeping it a buck. I like that.
I'm telling you. Thank you for that super chat.
You're an amazing person. You know that, don't you?
And beyond the kicking game too, right? Coverage looked pretty good on kicks and punts. We had a couple nice returns. Blocking was good. I don't think we had one penalty in special teams. I think that was one of the 5.
Hopper got a little excited, right?
Yeah, Tyron Hopper just a little excited.
He was just trying to tell him that he goes to the weight room. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Nixon returning that low kick. That was good.
He wanted to break that. He wanted his 6 points right there.
Absolutely.
If somebody beautiful. I think it was Kobe Wooden that was trying to block downfield, and he didn't like the angle that Nixon took, because you seen Kobe look at Nixon like, "What the hell do you?"
Yeah,
like they wanted that so bad, so bad.
Yeah, so true.
Yeah. All right. So the team statistics in the running game: 33 carries, 153 yards for 2 touchdowns. You jump over to Cincinnati side, 16 carries, only 55 yards. So the run defense showed up big time today. All right, moving on to receiving. Look who's leading the way, boys. Matthew Golden, 3 catches, 86 yards with a long of 35. Behind him, you got Josh Jacobs, 5 catches, 57 yards with a long of 29. Romeo Dobbs, 5 catches, 55 yards with a long of 21 yards. Tucker Kraft, 2 catches on only 2 targets, 43 yards, and the tutter, 24 is his long. And then Dontavion Wicks caught both of his targets, 2 for 15. Luke Musgrave caught 1 of his 2 targets for 7. Poor Emmanuel Wilson caught a pass but lost 4 yards. So Matthew Golden has emerged every single week. Emilio, every week, Golden's numbers get better. Do they not?
They do. And we were talking earlier this season, like, if he gets 400 in the first quarter or whatever, he didn't get that, right? But it wasn't the fact of not trying. I think Jordan's starting to believe in him a lot more. He saw his hands, he sees his speed. It's really exciting. I mean, once you get Christian out there, it's going to be crazy. You saw Jaden Reed on the sideline. The offense is, I think, what we thought it could have been, in the spring, but it's cool to actually see it happen on the field. Matthew Golden with great hands, great speed, and just fun to watch.
Yeah. United Bates crunching the tough math here, Jacob. He says, if I calculated right, Love is now at 70% completion percentage on the year. He's 103 completions on only 147 attempts. And I think you're going to see more of this with Matthew Golden. What do you think, Jacob? How'd you feel about Matthew Golden's performance today, man?
I mean, he crushed it. Just a real quick to skip back. Josh Jacobs reached the over on his yards. Jordan Love on his rushing yards reached the over. Matthew Golden reached the over. Manny Wilson was under, but that's fine. And then if you look at the receiving yards, Golden smashed his over. Jacobs smashed the over. Dobbs killed the over. Kraft was just a smidge below, and so was Wicks, but then Musgrave had the over. It was kind of people are going to sit here and maybe complain that it wasn't a dominant win. I'd argue that it kind of was in certain aspects. Yeah. It just wasn't maybe the way that it felt good watching, and that the announcers went, and kind of gushed all over us. But I think that we actually put together a pretty solid team win when you consider the fact that the special teams, for once, I think were probably the most perfect of the 3, followed by, I think, probably the defense, and the offense did what they needed to do in certain situations, which it was a team win, and I'm not mad about it whatsoever.
Yeah, Coach Lynn says Golden reminds me of Chase when I was watching on both sides of the ball today. Coach, he's got the strongest hands of a receiver. I mean, Romeo's got strong hands. I'm to the point where I feel like Golden's hands are stronger than Romeo's, but Romeo has a little bit better body control at this point. Rome just can find that soft spot, and he ain't afraid to take a hit. Matthew Golden kind of feels like his contact balance is off a little bit. Like he I don't know. It's like he's looking for contact when he catches the ball sometimes. Like he's a little more aware of that, and rightfully so. He's a rookie, right? I'm sure Rome was the same way his rookie year, but those two really complement each other well, man. Romeo in the X, Golden in the Z. Was we might have Christian Watson next week or the week.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
exciting stuff, man. Exciting stuff.
And the perfect opportunity for Scoot to work his way back in, having dynamic receivers like this on the field with you. You know, it's gonna. You can't pay attention to everyone. You can't double everyone. You can't send help to everyone. So an opportunity for Scoot to hopefully get his legs under him in the next couple of weeks.
Dave C makes a great point. He says it wasn't a 42-7 dominant win, but it was a game we led the entire time, most of it by 2 possessions. It's a great point. We led the entire game today.
Right.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
And 42-7 is still a win. You know, you don't get like an extra credit for boat racing someone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right, moving along to defense. Look who led the way here, boys. Edgerrin Cooper, 11 tackles, 4 of which were solo, 1 tackle for a loss. Right behind him, Quay Walker, although if I have to be a little negative, Quay gets beat on the touchdown, right, down the seam or what have you. He played it pretty well, you know, like his hand was on the ball. It was just you could tell he was beating himself up a little bit because he was just a split second late on reaction.
I can't wait to watch that one on Chalk Talk, Clayton.
Yeah.
I mean, that one's got to make it. Because I only got one look. I haven't got to watch back yet, but I was wondering what our safeties were doing on that look.
But to me, it looked, and it's early, it looked like there was some kind of match concept. It's kind of like that whole red 2 approach. Once you get inside the red zone, a lot of that stuff becomes matchy if and then. And to me, it looked like he was matching the 2 or the 3, and the guy it was a hell of a throw. It was a tight end, right? Strong hand catch. And he was there, but he just got his head around at the last second, still got a hand on the ball, and just about knocked it out. So, to me, it looked like it was his responsibility, but I'm with you, Tim. Until we go watch the tape, we don't know for sure.
Yep.
Yeah, correct me if I'm wrong, but I wonder how many do you consider explosive plays? Is it over 20 or 25 yards in the passing game / running game? Because I felt like that there was at least 10 plus for the Packers, maybe even more. Where we're getting these big chunk plays where in the a few games past it felt like that we just couldn't get the offense going. Do you think Chalk Talk may have a longer session?
Plays,
yeah.
Typically, the way I pick on the plays on Chalk Talk is on scoring drives, I try to show the explosive plays because you get an explosive play, you triple your chances of scoring on that specific drive. And like you said, passing plays of 20 yards or more consider explosive. Running plays of 10 yards or more consider explosive. There are some websites that just say a gain of 15 yards is an explosive, no matter if it's a run or a pass. So that's why I was always taught 10 and 20 are the numbers that number holds true in terms of tripling your chances of scoring on that particular drive. So moving along here, Evan Williams, 7 tackles, 1 for a loss. He looks so comfortable out there playing football, man. Xavier McKinney, 6 tackles. Keyshawn Nixon, 6 tackles, 1 for a loss. Listen, if you look at the stat line and the passer rating when targeted is going to be ugly for Keyshawn, he had great coverage today.
Yeah.
But he's just his ball awareness, getting the head back around. And here's the thing. I'm going to kind of defend him a little bit. When you're in man coverage, that's going to happen, right?
Yeah.
Your eyes are on your work. You're not playing the ball. I know people are like, hey, man, he needs to get his head around. I got you. I'm with you. I wish he would too. But when you're in man coverage, the top priority isn't get your head around. The top priority is play your man and play through their hands to the ball, right? Yeah. Is typically how it's taught. So less man coverage, I feel like, fixes that, but that's just me, man.
I would agree with that for sure. That's exactly what we talked about going into the game this week, Clayton. We talked about, man, we really didn't want to see one-on-one man coverage with Jamar Chase and no safety help, and that's exactly what we got on a tutter to Jamar Chase today.
Yeah, definitely. Javon Bullard, 6 tackles, 1 for a loss. Carrington Valentine, 3 tackles. Micah Parsons, only 3 tackles, guys. No sacks. No tackles for a loss either. Now, those 3 tackles I felt like were pretty impactful. They were great plays.
Yep.
I remember seeing him, breaking off a double team and making the tackle. Nate Hobbs had 2 tackles. Both were solo. Lucas Van Ness, 2 tackles, 1 sack with a tackle for a loss there as well. So, and I know Rashawn Gary only had 1 tackle on the day. I counted 2 pressures. We'll see what NFL Pro has him set out there, though. So
Keyshawn, they have PFF had him at 10 of 10 targets, 6 receptions for 49 yards and a touchdown.
That's going to kill his passer rating.
Yeah, so that's the 105 is what they had it at. And then you were talking about Quay. Quay was 7 of 7 targets, 6 receptions for 51 yards. So he gave up the most yardage and a touchdown. So, I mean, those are your 2 that were over 100 on rating, and that's kind of where they made up their difference, really.
Do we have a PFF grade on Colby Wooden? I just see him on this list. Do you have
Look
any?
that up, Emilio. Fam, I got to hit this troll real quick. Parsons is too focused on his podcast. You're an idiot. He stopped doing the podcast when he came to Green Bay, bub. So,
AFAM's too focused on the Chiefs. Hey, don't you have a Chiefs game to watch tonight? AFAM, go watch your Chiefs play. Stay out of the chat. Quit polluting the chat with your nonsense.
With your crusty mustache. Go ahead, Emilio. What were you going to say?
Mr. Colby Wooden, second highest defensive grade for the team, 72-8, 75 run defense, 71 tackling, 57 pass rush, 32 out of 65 snaps.
That's my dude. I had a feeling we'd get a game from Colby Wooden. He's really stepped up since Devontae Wyatt went down, man.
Mm-hmm.
Love to see it, man. Now, let's show a little love here to special teams. Savion Williams, 3 returns for 96 yards. He looks comfortable, boys.
Yeah.
And then, of course, you had Bo Melton, 1 return for 36 yards. He looked comfortable as well. Romeo Dobbs with the 2 punt returns, 2 for 14 yards. Obviously, it's all about just field the damn punt. Like, we don't have a punt returner. And
I'm glad that they put Matthew out there. He fair caught it. There was no one around him. They were probably like,
people were raking him over the coals on Twitter.
I was happy it was over with after that. It's one of those, dude, we cannot replace him. Let's move on.
Yeah. And then, of course, Havrasik, right? Did I got it right? Havras. I don't know where they find these damn guys. Why do they always sign people that I can't pronounce their names? It's unbelievable. Like, can't we get, a Bill Jones or a Bob Johnson or somebody? My gosh,
they're all working at Home Depot right now. They're not available.
Cue up the music. Havrasik, 2 for 2 on field goals with a long of 43, hit all 3 extra points as well. Daniel Whelan, only 2 punts for 91 yards, had a long of 56, and he perfectly pinned them inside the 10, right on that inside the 20 punt there. So just doing his job as he always does. So anything else on the box score you boys want to hit before we jump into going around the league and get some of these score updates?
Do you guys think it's weird that they don't try Savion at punt returner? I hate seeing Romeo taking the type of hits he's taken.
I think it is a little strange, Jacob. I do, man. I don't know why they chose to do that. I have no idea. But how do you guys feel about it? Would y'all rather see Savion try to take over punt return duties?
I would, but I wonder if it's a hands thing. I wonder if they just they have more trust in Rome fielding them at this point.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Savion might be a little too lengthy or something for punt return, if that's what they, that they could think. Because, I mean, you have a short Matthew Golden, you got a shorter Romeo Dobbs. I don't know.
Yeah. J. Cole asked, what about Melton? Dude, Melton is a dog on Madden returning kicks. I'm just telling you.
Yeah, he is.
He's mean. Coach Lynn says, I want to see Bo get a shot at punt return. Amen. Because he seems to have pretty good hands. He does. I mean, hell, he's a former receiver.
He's the guy anyway.
Yeah. Here was Carrington Valentine leaving the field just a few minutes ago.
Nation, no CV in the building, man. All we got to do is got the dub. Big dubs in the building. Big juice, man. Hey, go pack home. Nation.
Love it. Get that big juice, man.
You hear what he said? All we had to do was get the dub.
That's right.
He didn't say nothing about the final score.
Got that right, Tim. I'm glad he didn't, sir. All right, let's move it along here. Let's see. Let's go around the league. Does that sound good to you guys? Then we'll get the standings and get out of here. That good?
Sure.
All right. We'll go rapid fire. I'm going to try to get AI to create us some music, so we can have a little background music when we go around the league like this.
Little
all right?
banjo,
just a little banjo. Emilio's been trying for so long to get me to have a banjo theme song for the Open.
Little banjo or like little plucking. I don't know. We could figure something out.
Yes.
Little fiddle.
Yeah. All right, let's go around the league here, guys. The Raiders defeat the Titans at home 20-10. No surprise there. The Raiders improved to 2-4. The Titans fall to 1-5. Emilio, turn on that sports talk tomorrow when you're rolling around Knoxville, Tennessee. I'm telling you, it just floats right upstream to Nashville, man. Maybe downstream. No, it's upstream. You're right. So, yeah, Raiders get that dub over the Titans. Titans are in a bad spot right now. Obviously, we talked about the Packers. Here's a big one. The Buccaneers defeat the 49ers 30-19. Guys, I was watching that one on my computer screen while watching the Packers game. Fred Warner demolished his ankle. His foot was pointing in the opposite direction. So, yeah, there you go, Coach Lynn. Warner injury was bad for the Niners. Made me want to throw up on my keyboard, Coach. It did. So, that's going to be a tough one for the Niners.
Was it worse than the Tyreek Hill one?
No, it wasn't as bad as Tyreek. Tyreek's was bad. What made Tyreek so bad is then he got on the cart and he was laughing like nothing was wrong. I was like, what the hell's wrong with this guy? Like, it's just unbelievable. Throw the air cast on, he's good to go, which Fred Warner was kind of grinning too, but it was gruesome. They popped it back in place on TV. I'm telling you, I was like, oh, it's pointing into, what are we doing? What are we doing? I had to change the channel. It's unbelievable. So they'll probably be without Fred Warner, one of the best linebackers in the history of the game for a little while at least. Buccaneers, like I said, win 30-19. They're now in control of the NFC. They're sitting at 5-1. The 49ers fall to 4-2. The Broncos at Jets. Tim going to be grinning like a possum in a dumpster. The Jets fall to 0-6 as the Broncos defeat the Jets 13-11.
Jets going Jet.
You got that right, man. Let's just take a quick glance here at the box score. I want to know how bad it was, Tim. So Justin Fields 9 of 17 for 45 yards. To think that Aaron Glenn had Aaron Rodgers fly all the way across the country to tell him, I don't want you as my quarterback. And his quarterback just threw for 45 freaking yards.
Actually, as a team, it's -10 because he took 9 sacks with 55 yards long.
What?
Their passing yards as a team, 35 yards.
What?
Yeah, but they don't need Aaron Rodgers. It's just unbelievable, man. Breece Hall only had 22 carries for only 59 yards. Obviously, Bo Nix gets the win, 19-30. And it wasn't pretty over there either, but they got the job done, 19-30 for 174 and a touchdown. So, yeah, it's looking pretty bad. Garrett Wilson, you think he's you remember last year they said it got leaked out through Garrett Wilson's camp that if Aaron Rodgers was returning to the Jets, he wanted to be traded. You get what you deserve, buddy. 8 targets, 3 catches, 13 yards. Good luck to you, sir. Going to be a long season for the Jets. So
rough out.
Look at this though, Josh Myers. He actually had a fumble.
Nice.
That's interesting. All right. So there you go. All right. So again, the Broncos defeat the Jets 13-11. Moving along here, the Colts beat the Cardinals. This helps Packers a little bit. Obviously, the Cardinals fall to 2-4. The Colts improve to 5-1. So what you got is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Indianapolis Colts are the two teams. Obviously the Bucs in the NFC, Colts in the AFC that seem to have kind of separating themselves a little bit from the rest of the league. But the Colts get the win there. Chargers at the Dolphins. The Chargers squeak one out, 29-27. They improved to 4-2. The Dolphins fall to 1-5 there. Kind of interesting. They scored 27 points without Tyreek Hill against the Chargers there. It's kind of interesting. So Patriots improved to 4-2. How about that story, guys? Drake May had been on fire. 25-19 over the Saints. The Saints fall to 1-5. They're obviously in complete rebuild mode now. And here you go. So the Jets didn't need Aaron. Steelers improved to 4-1. They win 23-9 over the Browns. And Aaron Rodgers on the day, 21 of 30, 235 yards passing, 2 touchdowns, and 0 interceptions. He was not sacked.
I'm sorry. I was told Aaron Rodgers was washed.
Exactly.
I'm not understanding.
Yeah. He's just going out there and taking what the defense gives him, Tim, and just winning ball games. Mike Tomlin loving every minute of it.
Just being the greatest thrower of the football ever,
Yeah. Here's what's crazy. Aaron's having a good year. Now, PFF says he's horrible, which cracks me up because he's got one of the best touchdown to interception ratios in the league right now. However, if you had to pick right now for one game to win one game, Aaron Rodgers or Jordan Love, I'm picking Jordan Love. That's an exciting place to be, boys. Really exciting.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Goody made the right choice. Did he not?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
All right. Moving along. We talked 49ers, Buccaneers, didn't we? Yeah, we already hit on that. So, obviously on Thursday night, the Giants boat raced the Eagles 34-17. The Eagles fell to 4-2. The Giants improved to 2-4 there with the frat boys. So, Brooke in the house with the dono. Thank you so much, Brooke. Appreciate you. Good to see you in here. Appreciate you supporting the show as you always do. Any of these scores, stat lines you guys and gals want to see before we move on?
You can keep that Giants-Eagles score up there for a while. We can enjoy that view. Relive that massacre on Thursday night.
And Jalen Hurts, Tim, 24-33, 283 looks good.
Yeah.
Touchdown and interception. But, boy, he missed on a couple throws where it was like, A.J. Brown was running butt naked through the trailer park, and he just completely missed on the defense. So,
Yep.
yeah. Brooke with the super chat. I'm late to the chat. Are we mad at the defense? Brooke, I think that most Packer fans give the defense a pass pretty easily. I'm not mad at the defense. They average less than 5 yards a play, it sounds like. So you can look at the score and go, oh no, that's this, what happened against the Bengals. But honestly, I think the defense played pretty darn well. Especially the fact that we lost the turnover differential and they still only gave up, what was it we gave up? Was it 18 points?
18.
So, and it took 2 fourth down conversions too for them to get to that 18 points, as Zach Cruz pointed out, Brooks. So me personally, I'm not mad, but I do crack up at the people that are quick to rake special teams and the offense over the coals. But then when the defense struggles, they go la 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 la. But how about you guys? If you gave them a grade from an F to an A, what would you grade the defense today? We'll start with you, Jacob. What letter grade would you give the defense today?
I'd give them a B-.
Okay.
All right, Tim.
I'll give him a B, straight up B.
Okay.
I was going to say
Call me Buzz.
I was going to say a B plus, just because the only thing you had was 2 superstars making a couple crazy plays and a very experienced quarterback spinning it and getting it out fast and giving them a chance. They're going to have those. I thought the defense really did play great. 50 yards rushing and 100 and change passing. I mean, they weren't bad.
I'm with Biz here. He says a solid B. I can understand a B plus. I can understand a B minus, right? So anywhere from a B to a C plus, I'd be okay with. Yeah, there you go, Coach Lynn. C plus. Still no turnovers. That's a great point.
That's my thing. Yeah.
Got it. Got to start getting those turnovers for sure. So we've got the Detroit Lions and the Kansas City Chiefs have just kicked off here in the first quarter. Goff throws right and hits his receiver, who gets completely upended but picks up the first down. So the Lions are on the march here. The Lions are 4-1 heading into Kansas City, who are sitting at 2-3. So this is going to be a fun one to watch here this evening. So
I can't believe I'm saying this out loud.
I was going to say, dude,
Chiefs.
going to say that, Tim. I knew exactly what you were going to say. It's like, this is going to suck. I don't even want to watch this.
Yeah. I'm definitely pulling for the Chiefs. No doubt.
And we know AFAM is too, right?
Mm-hmm.
AFAM's
Patrick Mahomes.
There it is. Here's the guy.
Here's a guy.
AFAM's wearing a pair of whitey tighties signed by Patrick Mahomes. Promise you that.
Never been washed.
There's an end around, and Detroit they got hemmed up. All right, so just a 1 yard gain there. Emilio, who you rooting for in this one, man?
Got to be the Chiefs, right? Got to be. I don't know. I just let's do a little defensive scouting on the Lions and see what's to come at the end of the year.
I missed the Dallas game, didn't I? Yeah, we wasn't done yet. I apologize. I jumped the gun there. Cowboys drop a tough one to the Panthers. How's SA doing tonight, man? Because the Panthers played good ball tonight, man.
Tough. Last second field goal. I mean, that's a brutal way to go. Because they could have saved it, man. They could have been 3-2-1 and be right in perfect position, but
and look at Dak, man. 25 of 34, 261 yards passing, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. Let's see if it gives us – sometimes it'll give you the projection here. It's not doing it, is it? Usually if you go to stats, it'll give you a little bit of a projection on the season, but, yeah, it ain't doing it. I don't know. I need to find that actual screen, but I'm sure he is on track to do amazing things this year.
Mm-hmm.
Dak's having a hell of a year for sure, but nonetheless, they come up short 30-27 as the Panthers get the win there at home. They improved to 3-3. Cowboys sit at 2-3-1. Who would have thought the Panthers would have a better record than the Cowboys this year? It's wild to think about.
Crazy.
So, all right, moving along. We also have the Seahawks defeating the Jaguars. I know we were all pulling for the Jaguars, but the Seahawks pull it out. And man, oh man, Sam Darnold continues to do it. 16-27, 295 yards passing, 2 touchdowns, no picks. If you're a Minnesota Vikings fan, I don't know what you're watching the show, but if you are a Vikings fan, you are hating yourself right now for moving on from Sam Darnold, because they could be in the driver's seat of the NFC North right now. They really could. Kenneth Walker. They kept the running game pretty well in check. It was just all Sam Darnold today, man. Moving the rock for sure. So I think the Jaguars are going to be fine, though. They still sit at 4-2, and the Seahawks are one of the hotter teams in the league right now. And then I think we have one more here. Yeah, the Rams get a win over the Ravens 17-3. Obviously, Lamar Jackson did not play, so Cooper Rush was the backup. and he was 11 of 19 for 72 yards and an interception. So they never really
Playoffs?
exactly.
Seriously, man, that's brutal.
So I think that is everything. Yeah, we hit them all. So now let's jump over to the standings real quick, and we'll wrap this big bear up and just kind of walk through the league, the division leaders, if you will. So in the AFC East, the Bills lead the way at 4-1. The Patriots right behind them at 4-2. And some of these bye weeks are going to obviously separate some of these teams and break up those clusters. The Pittsburgh Steelers are leading the AFC North 4-1. It's not even close. The Bengals are the closest one behind them now, sitting at 2-4. Let me make sure this is refreshed real quick. I apologize. Yeah, there we go. Baltimore Ravens falling to 1-5 is just absolutely crazy, man. AFC South, the Indianapolis Colts leading the way at 5-1. The Jaguars sitting at 4-2, and then everybody else kind of falling behind. The AFC West, the Chargers and the Broncos both sitting at 4-2. The Chiefs sitting at 2-3, trying to improve to 3-3 tonight against the Lions, which they now have a 1st and goal. The Lions are at the 9-yard line. They hand off inside run down to about the 4-yard line. That's live action right now. NFC East, the Eagles still lead the way at 4-2. The Commanders right behind them at 3-2. Cowboys sitting at 2-3-1, and the Giants at 2-4. The Detroit Lions sitting at the top of the North before tonight's game at 4-1. The Packers right there behind them at 3-1-1. Then the Vikings at 3-2. The Bears sitting at 2-2. The Bears are playing Monday Night Football tomorrow, so that's going to be a fun one to root against there. Tampa Bay leading the NFC South at 5-1. Panthers behind them at 3-3, not really close at this moment. And then the 49ers, Seahawks, and the Rams are all sitting at 4-2 in the NFC West. So as it sits right now, guys, on this glorious October the 12th, I think the NFC West has the best division. What's your all's thoughts on all that?
Crazy, because they thought that the North was going to be like that. And I was really worried about Matthew Stafford's back. And you have Sam Darnold going over there. Brock Purdy's out. There's just a lot going on in that division, and they still end up finding a way to win. But happy where we're sitting right now. I know that tie doesn't look great, but it's helping us. I think it'll help us, honestly, the rest of the season much better than a loss.
AFAM says, thanks, Clayton. AFAM's recording the game. Go ahead, Jacob, Tim, anybody?
I mean, I would agree that I think the NFC West right now has the bragging rights for being the toughest division, but I'd say we're a close number 2, especially depending on how Chicago comes out and performs tomorrow. Everybody tried to write, and rightfully so. I think that I was a little bit harsh in saying that the Lions are going to fall off. I am a little bit surprised at the way, like you referenced earlier, that the Vikings are so willing to just let go of not only Sam Darnold, but let's not forget Daniel Jones, who are arguably 2 of the best top 5 quarterbacks right now in the league. Decided to put all their chips in and go with a guy like JJ McCarthy there. And now they're kind of reaping what they sow with some of that first year jitters and all that, the stuff that comes with that. So I think if the Packers just keep playing, fundamental kind of sound football, that we can just kind of trudge ahead, and hopefully in the next quarter of the season, we look back and evaluate the rest, and we'll hopefully be in first place. That's what I hope.
Yeah, I think looking at just the NFC, the way it's shaping up right now, playoff picture is going to be pretty competitive. I mean, I think you're going to have playoff teams from multiple divisions. There's 7 spots, right? We're all going to be fighting. So, I mean, we've got to win these games. We really do. And we're kind of running into the gauntlet of the season on our schedule here once we get into November. And we're going to be playing some better teams. So it's crucial that, like Jacob said, man, we have to just stick to our fundamentals and not beat ourselves like we did today. I thought we played pretty well as far as, not getting too many boneheaded penalties and shooting ourselves in the foot. We didn't see a million false starts and things like that. So as long as they continue to play fundamentally sound, I believe they'll be in the mix. And that's all that really matters. You want to win your division, obviously. You'd like a first-round bye and home field and all of that, but just get yourself a spot in the playoffs, and you got a chance to go bring a Lombardi home.
Yeah, no doubt. All right, so yeah, to your point, Tim, I think it was Emilio. Pull that back up if you don't care. Let's look at the schedule real quick. So you get the win against the Bengals. Next week we travel to Arizona to face the Cardinals. Listen, that's a winnable game, but it's not a slam dunk. None of them are, right? They may be without Kyler Murray. He missed today. And then the following week, you go in and face the red-hot Pittsburgh Steelers. Jordan Love against Aaron Rodgers, man, on Sunday Night Football. That is going to be absolutely awesome. And I'm going to try to make sure I don't work Monday after that game, because stay up late and enjoy it. And hopefully we got a victory Monday the next day, coming in here with a headache. You know what I mean? Then you got the Carolina Panthers, as the Dallas Cowboys proved today. They're not a slam dunk win against the Panthers. Then you got the Eagles at home on Monday Night Football. Then back on the road against the frat boys over there, Scatterboo, in New York against the Giants. Then we got the Vikings coming back home for Week 12 on a 1 o'clock kickoff there at Lambeau. That'd be fun. The weather will start to turn a little colder. That'd be good. Week 13 on the road against Detroit. Then Chicago back at home Week 14. That's a 1 o'clock kickoff. And then back on the road against a tough Denver Broncos team. And then back on the road against Chicago that next week. And then, of course, you end the season with the Baltimore Ravens, who should have Lamar Jackson back by then, unless their season goes completely south, which one win up to this point it pretty much already is. Maybe they'll just decide to shut him down for the year if it's a lingering injury. So the other thing I want to point out real quick, Puka Nacua, guys, 54 catches this year for the Rams. He's leading the league. 616 yards receiving. He's leading the league right now. Puka Nacua is a damn dog. When Devontae Adams is your number 2 target, the Rams are going to be in it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, thank God we don't play them, right? We don't.
Seriously.
All right. So there you go. Anything else you guys want to hit on before we do the giveaway here, boys? Anything at all? Parting thoughts, I guess we should say.
Hopefully we get Scoot back next week. It'd be nice to see him get a little bit of snaps, maybe 5 or 10 snaps, something like that. And hopefully, prayers up for Bullard and LVN and Tay Wicks as well with whatever they're dealing with. I'm sure we'll get more details going forward. But we're going to need to be at as close to full strength as we can coming down the stretch here. We can't afford to cough one up to a team like Arizona or Carolina. So, we got to be on our P's and Q's here going forward.
Yeah, here's a great point. Someone read that for me on the screen. I'm gonna try to pull this up real quick.
Yeah, Ed Madden says that Nacua and Marvin Harrison were both injured today too, so that's a bummer. Not sure what the severity is of those injuries there, but it's been a weird year, man. It feels like that as soon as people start getting cooking, that the injury bug has been biting a lot of high-profile people. Right. I know my fantasy team is depleted, absolutely depleted. But yeah, man.
Yeah, so there was early concerns it might be a fibula injury on Nacua, but you could see a replay. I'm not going to put it on the screen, obviously. We'll get dinged for it, but he comes down. It looks like it might be a toe injury, but it looks like what officially was said after the game was this is according to Adam Schefter of ESPN. Sean McVay said wide receiver Puka Nacua has an ankle injury, and he is uncertain if he will be able to play next week against the Jaguars in London. Man, if it is an ankle injury and you got swelling, Emilio, they probably don't want him on that airplane, do they, man, going across the pond?
Nope, we're just going to leave you right over here in the States, and we'll just keep that under wraps, just rice that thing all weekend, and we'll see you next week.
Yeah, and hammer the over on Devontae Adams' numbers.
Yeah.
There you go. Looks like Detroit ended up settling for a field goal. They lead 3-0. There's 5 minutes left in the first quarter. I think that was the only drive of the game. So they had a 10-minute drive, I'm assuming, unless the Chiefs had it for a 3-and-out to start the game. I'm not sure. So we'll keep our eye on that. All right, let's do a giveaway, boys. Y'all ready?
Spin it.
Somebody in the chat, give me a number between 1 and 10 as quick as possible. A number between 1 and 10. If you guys are new here and wondering what the hell are you doing, why is there a crooked pinky on the screen? This is our giveaway. All right. So anybody who's a member on YouTube, anybody who's a member of our Patreon group, we recommend you be a member in Patreon. You get a lot more access to things over there. Patreon.com/Packer Fan Total Access, extra content, chats, all that good stuff. So if you're a member, you get entered into our giveaways when we do it. Looks like Chad Inc. said 4. I think he was the first number in here. So let's shuffle this thing 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. Tim, you ready to give away an autographed Marshawn Lloyd rookie card, sir?
Let's spin it, man.
All right, I need to hear that big money, no whammy. Here we go.
Big money, no whammy. Big money, no whammy. Big money, no whammy.
Now, land on Emilio.
The winner of the Marshawn Lloyd card is
Doug Fox.
Okay. That sounds like one of those 1970s actors.
I was going to say.
Welcome to the stage, Doug Fox.
I got a Doug Fox that worked for me. I hope it's not the same person.
All right. So Doug Fox, you are the winner of the Marshawn Lloyd card. All right. So what I need you to do, sir, is reach out to me in Patreon. If you're not in our Patreon group, then what I need you to do is shoot me a text message to 865-658-5824. We'll get your information and have that mailed out. So again, Doug Fox is the winner of our Marshawn Lloyd autographed rookie card. Thank you for supporting the show. Thanks to everybody on this list. Look at it. Look how many people are on this list, guys.
Seriously.
Respect. No, Respect Ernest says Doug rocks races for pink slips.
There you go. You heard it from a fan right here. All right. Anything else, boys? Anything at all?
No.
All right. We nailed it, man. I appreciate y'all hanging out with me. And listen, we had an awesome crowd in here. If y'all would, hit like, hit subscribe. If you were new here, thanks for hanging out this evening. Obviously, the Packers get a huge win here at Lambeau Field to get back in the win column and obviously turn this thing around. And one last question for everybody. What's your win total right now? What do you think the Packers will finish with? Because as we came into this week, I was sitting 11 to 13 wins is kind of where I'd settled in. I think I'm still there. I think I'm still got the Packers somewhere between 11 to 13 wins, and it's about time for me to hone that in to a 2-game buffer there. As United Bates with the super chat. Thank you, buddy. 27 to 18. His tradition continues. We appreciate you, Bates. Thank you for the dono, man.
Bates the great.
Yeah. What do y'all think? What's your win total? How we feel about it, guys?
I was going to say 12 to 13.
Ooh, all right. So you've got them already. 12 is the floor. I love it, man.
I had them at 14 and 3 going into the season, so damn tie screwed everything up for me. So I'm gonna stay with. I'm gonna go to 13. I think we get 13.
I'll be the Debbie Downer. I'll say 10 to 12.
Jeez, Jacob.
10 to 12, Jacob. Essentially, what you're saying is, look, there's a chance they miss the playoffs. Right, there's a slight chance they miss the playoffs.
Well, I mean, the tie didn't help, but I don't know.
I got you, man. I get you. Yeah, I'm not hating. I'm just, I understand where you're at there. I do. And again, if they lose one of these next 2 games, I'll probably go from that 11 and 13 down to 10 and 12. You know what I mean? Somewhere in that range, and then within the next week or two, we'll close it into just a 2-game buffer. So anyway, I want to give a special shout out to everybody everybody in the chat. First of all, you guys make this show. Really appreciate everybody being so active. Clint the Armchair Quarterback, Godsmack AR69, HE Solder, Clint the Armchair Quarterback coming back with gifting some memberships. King Tron, Godsmack, Miss Brooke in the house for a couple donos, and then, of course, Bates with the traditional score price tag there with the super chat. So thank y'all so much for the generosity. We will be back. Is that a word, generosity? I think it is.
Yeah.
Could be. Yeah, I'll have my people reach out to their people. There you go. All right, so we'll be back tomorrow for a Victory Monday edition of PTA. We'll bring you the PFF grades, any other news, any injury news that might slip out. We'll give you guys the update. We'll also obviously have the update on whether or not the Chiefs can upset the Detroit Lions at home and how that may impact the NFC North as well. Because you guys,
or maybe they could tie.
Yeah. Hey, correct me if I'm wrong. If Detroit loses this game, we're in the lead in the NFC North, right? Because of the tie.
We'd be tied for the lead, wouldn't we?
Yeah. I don't know how
they had us above. That would mean they would fall.
Yeah, because we beat them. But
that's right. We have them in the head-to-head so far. Yep.
Well, I don't even know if that matters. And let me explain what I mean. Though they would fall to 4-2, we're sitting at 3-1-1. The other day, they actually had us. We were 2-1-1, and the Vikings, they had us above the Vikings with their current record. So I'm pretty sure we would be in the lead regardless of the head-to-head or the half-game lead. Exactly, Tony. But really what you got to do when there's ties involved is look at the losses, right? The team with less losses is going to get the advantage in the standings. So the Packers, if the Lions somehow lose this game, the Packers will be in the lead in the NFC North. Yeah. So, we would be up by half a game. So, all right. That's it, guys. We'll see y'all tomorrow. Thanks, everybody. Hit that like on the way out. Everybody have a wonderful evening. Jacob, you got to go to the club tonight, man.
I mean, I got to wrangle in some of these. Never mind.
You about to said something bad.
Yeah.
You about maybe edit the whole show, didn't
you?
No. We'll see y'all tomorrow. Take care.
Here we go. We're out. Bye, guys.